Sham Mesech Trumas Daf Tzadik Dalet Omed Beis Nishmas Gittel Basarov Chaim Mitzudov Gershon Chaim Ben Avram Yitzchak as Shimon Ben Rabbi Yitzchak. Zok the Gemara right after the Mishnah. So just to go over the Mishnah a minute, you have Dak Tomei. The Mishnah starts Dak Tomei Shukov Shoyim Dak Torah. So the Mashma that we're talking over here, the dag itself, one dag which is tomei, was marinated or soaked, or however you want to understand it, is put together with a dag Torah. So it's the dag itself, not the tzir. And then the Mishnah goes on, kol grav, or the word kol grav, big meduba here in the Mefarshim, the Rishonim, if you go is this vav or not. If you go is the vav, then the second sentence in the Mishnah talks about v'chol grav, shu mazik sasayim. This is talking about tzir. If this is talking about the juice, then the Reisha is also talking about the juice. And if not, you're not goes the vav. You see here, Article has it in parentheses. If you're not goes the vav, then it's two separate things. The Reisha is talking about the dag itself, and the Sefer is talking about the tzir. We'll soon see in big machlokes is what this is. So Al Kaponim. We don't know exactly what the Reisha means, but the Reisha could mean just the dag tomei, which kovash and dag torah. But what's the din? The Mishnah doesn't tell us, not Megal tells us what the din is. So we'll see how the Rishonim learn here. So the Mishnah goes on, and it says that if you have the grav, which is shumazik sasayim, that's 200 to 1. Im yesh boy mishkul asara zuzei biyehuda, shem chomish shloim begol. Then the dag is tomei, and sira is Asa. What's the shear? This shear is 960. 961. Kach shiru chachamim. I don't know yet if this is halach l'moshe Messina and not halach l'moshe Messina. I didn't see yet. But we do see from the Mefarshim that it's not shishim, not 1 to 60. 1 to 60 is not applicable here because it's very charif. That's what the Mefarshim say. It's too sharp because the shear is very sharp. So it's 960 according to the Tanna Kama. The Yehuda, and this also machlokes if it's the nice to Rabbanon. We'll get to see that. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Reviz b'sasayim. That's how they explain this. That's 1 and 200. Rabbi Yasi Omer, Echad Mishishos, 1 to 16. That's the difference here. 1 to 16, 1 to 200, or 960. Big difference in the shurim.
16 times is what?
Yeah.
16 times 60 is 960.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Then the Mishnah continues. Chagovim temeim shenich b'shu im chagovim toirim. Chagovim are grasshoppers, and there are many different types of grasshoppers. So we don't know exactly which one, but we're talking about the ones that are tomei. So the ones that are tomei shenich b'shu im chagovim toirim. Not the tzir. Here, pashas, we're talking about the grasshopper itself. These are shkotzim, and they were nichbash im toirim. Loi poslu es siram. So here, it doesn't pass the tzir. Now, we need to understand this tzir. Step back for a minute. What is this tzir? Tzir is juice, right? Huh? Chaymitz? It's sharp. I don't know what's chaymitz. No, it's tzir.
Fish juice.
Fish juice. Brine. Yo. Yo. Okay. Whatever it is. I don't think it. No, it's not.
You make it.
Huh?
You have to make it. It's unnatural.
No. Why? Who says?
It comes out of the fish.
No, it comes out of fish.
Fish oil.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
the zaft is juices of the fish.
Zaft is the recipe. You have to make.
No, it's not artificial. It's not artificial. It's a natural thing. It comes out of the fish. It's very sharp, and because it's sharp, that's why you have all these different shumim. You don't go here with shishim, which is the rule by all the asurim. So now, okay, so that's by regular dag. Yeah,
That's key.
that's the inspiration. No, okay, that's a coverage.
That's covered.
Yeah, that's not seer. That's not seer. That's not seer. That's the first. That's the first.
That's
What?
the first part.
Yeah.
Then you took the dog and comes.
Coverage means what?
Chametz doesn't need to be chametz.
No. Yeah, there's different ways to do it. The pickling process is my melech chametz. That's how you pickle things. That's how you make pickles. That's how you make herring. That's how you do it. Okay. Now, so that's with fish. Now the next Mishnah, Mishnah Tes, is chagovim. Chagovim is not fish. Now all of a sudden, what happened to these chagovim? Chagovim shenirbishu im chagovim toidim like paslu asiram. Doesn't pass this here. What is fish? Whatever the tzir is, it's a juice. How it comes out of the fish, hayotzim and hayotzim and tameh is tameh. So even though that's the regular rule, When you get to tzir, it's all of a sudden, it's different. Why is it different? Because you see, chagovim is Tameim, Shenibushu chagovim toirim, loy posla tzir. The tzir is not also. So you see right away from chagovim, and this is Yafusa from Psukim, they're not from a posik, these Zachen. So you see that a yotzir min ha-tomei does not apply to dag or chagovim. But if it applied dag or chagovim, it would be stam also and finished. Why you want to have to get machlekes over here in the Teis Koyanim. Heyed tzadik al tzir chagovim tameim shuhuta. Looks to be that there was a question on this. So Heyed it made gedokt as in shtor. Take a look at Rabbi say here. This we didn't see yesterday. In the Hagoyis Siyunim on the right side here, in the scroll he says in Beis. B'toyas Koyanim Shmini Pasha Gimel Halacha Hey Isa Sheketz. The word Sheketz L'Nasa. This is a drash. This is a drash. L'Nasa es Tziron v'Roitvam. The extra word Sheketz. There's many words of Sheketz. The Masa is Tziron, which is the Jews, v'Roitvam, and also which is not the Jews itself. Roitvam is something else, something like Tzir. V'Sham B'Halacha Yud Beis Isa. There in the Toyas Koyanim. Shmoini Remes Takloi, V'chen goes Haravid, Shekes Tishaksu, the Pasuk says in Pasha Shmini, Shekes Tishaksu, what's the extra word? Shekes Tishaksu, what means Tishaksu? You should have a famist, what does that mean famist? I have a Katash in Chayda, yeah? Tishaksu, what does that mean? When you get a little older, you have to understand what does it mean, those famist, and Lesser Tziron, it comes to Aser the Tzir, V'roitvam. V'es hekefim shalahem, v'es beitzeim. All these things are in the Sirabah, so you see that the tzir is a special Rebbe. So if you would say ayotzim and also, you wouldn't have to have a special pasuk to tell me that the tzir is also. You see, because the tzir is not ayotzim and also. It's not like orange juice or things like that. It's not zei b'yama. It's a rivi akro. V'niri da drosha rishoyna, he b'sheketz the dogim. Udrosha hashniya b'sheketz the oifus. When you have sheketz oifus, and you have of dagin, b'sheketz the oifus, v'chein pirish harayvet, ach rabbeinu nokat kan, hadrosha hashniya gabe dogim. We're talking about the dag, we're not talking about the oifus. B'hemshech duar, nira d'lo nokat klal hadrosha rishoyne, ki nira shigis acheres ha'is l'bitoyes kayanim. But he doesn't bring over here chagovim. It looks in Dalit, b'ksav yad munchin, I think that's going on Munchin. The Kelu B'tzir Chagovim, Taruva Sir B'tzir Ketoni Tama. He brings the Yafusis in the Rasur that we saw yesterday. Okay. Look in the Bia Gropli. Kol Grav. This goes on the Mishnah on the right side and the bottom. Kol Grav Shumazis Asayim Yeshboy Mishkal Asora Zuz Bihuda. This is 1 to 200. We make the cheshbon. Kosev harash. Shloi pirish klum. In the ratio of the Mishnah, dag tomei shekovshim dag torah. The Rash says what's going on here. The Mishnah doesn't tell us what's going on with it. Mutter osa, but dag tomei tzirei osa who mills about benafshes. It's a second din. Has nothing to do with the ratio. So it's not akdome. It's a separate sentence. Yehuda mefarish musi the Tanakama. Yehuda, however, he's saying, is going on the Tanakama. The Tanakama don't tzirei osa stam. Tzir is osa mefarish Yehuda im yeshaviz b'sasayim, which is the 1 and 200. But if Yossi Palig and Rashi says no, it's 1 and 200. It's not 960. It's 1 and 200. Ain't cost of a Rajva Perusha in the Bedek Habayis. Okay. The Dochkul is there. Mashimevi begamov set to Kulan. Rai Yehuda, the Rai from Yehuda, Doctor More in Kulan, Gidanosha. Masha Tzir Oisa Korel L'Mesayim. She'ein Kol HaShurim Shovim. Lo Maisim Mitanakam Shu Oisa Tzir Dogan Temeim Ad 960. He doesn't bring it. L'chach Dochkul. Oh, very good.
So,
but Shishim. No, he's asking very good. He said, what's Chad B'tzrei? He said, well, over here. So here you have a Yafus. So that's why I was marking them over here. This Teis Koyanim. And the Rashi really brought it yesterday. So they're showing you that this is the reason why Tzir is different. You have a Rivi Akro. All the others assume in the Torah, you don't have this Rivi Akro. Here you have a special Rivi, Pasha Shmini, when you talk about Dag, that it's Osa. So what does it mean Osa? Why need over here? Because Tzir is not the normal thing. It's not the dag itself. The dag itself, would be chad b'terei. That would be the shir deraisa. And the Rabbanan would say ad shishim because tam kika. That would apply to the dag. But the tzir, mazat tzir. The tzir is like the dag. It's not like the dag. It's zayir, whatever it is. When it's a ribi akro, that tzir is also. Once I have a ribi akro, that tzir is also. Somehow the chacham, the tanoim came and they said, okay, I have it here, but it's not exactly like the dag itself. It has potency. It's potent. It goes to 960, 200, 16. All these things are what the chacham are putting into that ribi akro at kama. To where does it go? So it goes much further than the. So it's it goes further than there. You don't say da'ili and none kedin. The chayda should be not as chomer. So they all say the pshat is because it's more charif. It's more charif.
1 to 16 is less than shisha.
Yeah, okay, but you forget. You say it's 960. So maybe good magashir 960, 200, right? So Akapana, you see, even though it comes from there, it's a ribi akra from the dag. But it's more than the dag, or less than the dag, however you want to understand it. That depends on how the Chum applied it.
How do they know to say less?
Huh?
How do you know to say less?
Yeah. I didn't know anything. I didn't know it was 960. 960, I thought.
No, you're making it less than shisha.
No. 960, you understand?
No.
Not okay, so.
Nicht.
Tante Pflege aus der Zunge, die winterdicke Pashas sind sicher mit mentelig. The weekday pashas in the Torah, they're all covered up with blankets. Verstehen wir gar nicht. Apples amul macht man auch ein bisschen mit state apples, but okay. Okay, let's go right. Like Meisim Tanakama shu oiser tzir dogim temei ma tuftuf. That's 960. The Tanakama lo imayri elam esar dogim temei asmon. The Tanakama is talking about the dag itself. V'lav mishum noisin tamosi. 960 is not because of the tam. Ela mishum. This is the Rash. The Rash brings this because the Rash is was shaken on Tanakama. He says it's beryah. Shum beryah she'eni betela. A beryah doesn't become botel until 960. So we're talking about over here the dag itself in the nation. And Sheda Achidish in the Torah that 960 is mevatel even a beryah. Beryah is double choshev, but 960 it's like what?
Don't we say it for the bell for like bottle?
Okay, but they'll say 960. Yeah, you see, Tanakama says 960. Loi ma'asim Tanakama. This is Nishkan Bab. This is the Yishalmi. This doesn't appear in the Bab.
Yeah.
Loi ma'asim Tanakama shu was to see dogim at lekach dotu far Tanakama loi ayri elim sarav dogim to meim atzmon lamshim noisin tam asi. Shim beryah. It's a din of beryah. Shein b'tei atuf of 960. Avagav that beryah einoi nisarif. Mikamokum kshim shebeleya mi beryah eini botu keberyah atzmoi. Doesn't come both like the beryah itself. So sach mission though. Okay. Zog the Gemara. Tana Rabbi Yehuda ben Pazi. The Va'adilya is the Chaim learns Va'adilya is also a Hashem of an Amoyra. Edgar land. Omer Amona Mandoma Mute. I'm sorry, skip. Dag Tofel. Tofel means that it's not Muluach, it's Tofel. It doesn't have any salt in it. Shukavshu and Dag Tome Muliach, that has salt. These two Dagim were mixed one with another. One was Tofel, and the Dag Tome was Muliach. So the Gemara says that this is also. Why? Because the one that's Meliach gives out and it's Tomei, and it's poured into the one that's not Meliach, this is the Tofel. So here's where they say, the Mashach brings this, that you see that when it's poured, it's easy to be poured than to be Meliach. Because, and why isn't it, what's with the Dak Tohar?
Salt throws it out.
And the other one is Tofel, doesn't throw it out. So it's Belay, that's why it's Tomei. Omer Amona, talk to Amona yesterday. Man da Omer Mutter. There's a man da Mutter. One says also, one says Mutter. So the Amona, it's not Kakasha. Why? Man da Omer Mutter. The one that says it's Mutter when you out of these two things, Shukavshi made Kavisha out of a Dak Tomei and a Dak Tohar. B'Shukavshi staying biachas. You put it together at one time. So that's why it's Mutter. Why? Because this one is poilet and this one is beleya, so the one that's poilet, it doesn't allow the bleed. They cancel each other out. One is beleya and one is poilet. So mele that mutter. Madam also b'shekavshan zeh one after the other one. So may you belay koivishim one after the other one. So first comes the Isser. There's nothing in to block it. Teda loch shehu kain the Tanina oy b'mei truma also loy b'shekavshan zeh. It wasn't one after the other one. When do we say it's mutter? It's only when you did it basachas. When you did it together, it's taka mutter. Zogt the Pnei Moshe. The white lines. Dag Torah Tofel she'eina miliach. Tofel means it's not miliach. There's no salt. Shekavshe in dag Tomei Miluach. He put it together with dag miliach, which is salted. Lefisha Tofel b'leia min miliach. The one that's Tofel has no salt. It absorbs whatever comes from the one that has salt. Mandam mutter. The one that says mutter. You know why? B'shekavshe shneihem ke'achas. Kloimer. Shelo yoya Tomei miliach b'fnei atzmei b'tchila. It was the same time when you put them in the Kvisha, when you put them together, then is when this was Maliach and this was Tafel. The boss relay, the Sagi Badochi. You could just take water and you wash it off. The Kivon, Shishtaim, Oiskim, Beplita, Einem Boilen Zebza. Now both of them have a plita. I know what it means, both of them have a plita. Smashma, even one that's Tafel also has a plita, and they're not Belay Zemizeh. One after the other one. The betchila huchbash hadag tomei vin nimlach. The dag tomei was huchbash and it was nimlach. Ukasheniach shom hadag toh. After that, you put in the dag toh tofel b'leim and amliach. It's b'leim for the meliach. How do you notice it has to be a nafkamina if it was b'zeh chazev basachas? The bekobish hatomei betchila oiseh. The kobish itself when it's tamei, but it asks. Afile mea kobish shaloi. It asks itself also. Whatever comes out, it's also the tai shenich shachar ben. The other team masis nliel or shkovshim b'mei truma also. My time lav mishum shkovshim ze'achazeh also because we're one after the other one. Today made truma leinesu el b'shul shkovish b'nei truma boys and afile ze'isichon. Zogt in our folder. On the white lines also tofel shloi nimlach also shatofel mekabel tam min amluah. The one that's unsalted takes in the time from the one that's salted. Shepod avu shofel zechazeh b'leia hatofel mitzir shepola datome. One after the other one, so we say it's b'leia from the tzir shepola datome. That's why it's also mashenkein basachas. It cancels each other out. B'mei truma, v'hainu shishnichem b'tzilan shel zayis truma, k'may dag torah b'tzir tomei. Look at Rashi on the left column, about 6 or 7 lines in the back. What?
What's being right from truma?
B'mei truma. He says b'mei rai truma, shishnichem b'tzilan shel zayis truma, k'may dag torah b'tzir. So his taich is it was there b'basachas. That's what he means. I thought he taiched in the Mishnah. What? Yeah, but he's teaching it. He says when it's b'basachas, then it's tummy. If you put it in one by itself, because it's right. No, he says you put into the tzir of the zeis truma. K'may dag torah b'tzir dag tummy. And one was mutter, one was also. So you put one in the other one. Not he did it b'basachas. Zechazeh. That's why it's also.
Why is it also? He was right from truma. The first one could still ask. The tzir dag tummy could still ask.
Because he said that's the way the plita goes. The plita goes. Otherwise, we saw before in the Gemara. If both sides are pilot, then it doesn't go into the other one. Both are coming at the same time, and they fight with each other. So this doesn't allow the other one to come in because it's also pilot. That's how he learns Pshat. Look in the Rashi. Dag Torah Tofa, Bola mi dag tomei miliach. It's beleya. It absorbs from a dag tomei which is salted. Medicha yemuter. V'sakadaita. Why is it muter? Why you just miliach? The stomach toni lo. Afilik dag Torah Tofa v'tomei miliach. V'srilei the kivin. This sholim hu dag Torah loy bola because the sholim look it's not as beleya. And for the Gemara, mandam muter shekoshin shem kachas. The tavayu polti kiachas. Even the one that's a tafel is also poilet at the same time. And then it's not beleya because it's a sholem. If the issa is kovish tchila, kahoitzi meimov miyad shenos and atoy bolam kovish if the have a sholem is beleya. Oibi mei truma asa mashma. So he's explaining like that. Mashma that fill b'shleimim even when it's a sholem. is chulin. Ubrais lebud ben padi zeh chazeh ma'iri. One after the other one. That's why it's also. If he's like, here min pei kolabos shnei meluchim asurim hainu shepoischim einum shleim. It means it was cut. It's not shalom. He's going with a different guy. He's saying over here, when is it also has to be putzua. The Yerushalayim umeluchim ka'achas. But if it's shalom and you meleich it ki'achas, then we say it is b'leih. Only by Pesua is not b'leih, but Yerushalayim it is b'leih. He's making enough commitment. He says when.
It's a trend because what's the difference?
Yeah.
Shalom is not
right.
b'leih.
So he says it depends if it's b'basachas, not b'basachas. Okay. There's a Rambam here. It explains our Mishnah. Look at the Rambam in Perek Tez Vov. Perek Tez Vov Machol Sasiris Halacha Lamed Daled. Look at the Rambam one side. Chayin Bosse Meluach, Bosse Dag Tomei Meluach. What was the Dag Tomei? As Meluach has salt in it. Shenivlal im Dag Tofel Toy Nesa Midei Tzirot. You have a dag tomei, and you salt it together with a dag tofu, which is toy. So the dag tomei was salted. Nesem neisira becomes also because it's here. Avlim hoya meliach toy. If the meliach was the toy, the salted one, but dag tomei tofu lenesa hameliach shatofu b'leia min hameliach. The tofu is the one that's b'leia. Which one was the tofu? Was the tomei. And the one that's salted, somebody doesn't become osir. When the issa is salted, it gives into the tofu. So he says like this: dag tomei shekofshe im dag toy. He made a kvisha, put the two together. See hakol osir. Elim kein hoya tomei echad mesayim atoy.
Not b'zeh chazeh.
No, for basachas. Look at the Mishnah Melech. So he gives a review of this whole Mishnah. Look at that. The Buddha says that it's b'sasayim. The Yossi says it's Yud Gimel, and he says 960. Umafanish Rabbeinu Masnisim. The Aidu the Inyan Isi Atzi Hayotzim and Adagatome Shu Noisin Tam. Avaloi the Inyan Adagatzma. He says the Mishnah is not talking about the dag itself. The whole Mishnah is talking about the tzir. The vada ima dag atzma in the sarev loy bottle doesn't become bottle. The barrier loy bottle. He's not forget. He's saying if this is talking about the dag itself, it's a barrier and there's no bill. Even 960, like you said before, other than the Rambam. Well, not like the Pei Moshe. Well, and like the Shveitzer. Yo, v'ochi daikim mas nissen the kamish kov shoi. Kofshe means it was marinated. We're talking about the tzir. The im aidu b'issa hadag atzma shesarev. The Mishnah says shekofshe. Dag tomei shekofshe. What says shekofshe? Kofshe means not the dag itself. It means the kvish of the dag. Kvish of the dag means the tzir, and that's why there's a question over it. But the dag itself is a barrier, is vetnish bottle, and I know it from shed kofshe. V'ochi daikim masnisin the kam b'shekofshe. The im aidu b'issa hadag atzma shesarev. The Mishnah is only talking about the tzir and not talking about the dag. So you have moedik and machlokes over here. If we say that this Mishnah is talking about the dag, or the Mishnah is talking only about the tzir.
It's all one case.
It's all one case. It's all talking about what? He's saying all okay. It's talking about tzir, but dag is atzmai. It's a very low bottle. So who's the machlokes? Everybody say. So the machlokes is how to learn pshat in the psukim. He says, the Rambam says, if the dag itself barrier, that's a din barrier lay bottles. So didn't call it student should be called Tarikula. Elen Pshat, the under Mephoshim learn the Rash is learning Pshat is that this Mishnah is talking about barrier, and you have the Shurim in the Mishnah by barrier itself. The Mishnah is, that's what the Rash is saying. Mishnah is talking about barrier. What's the nafka? That this Yafusa, which the Torah Kanan brings, Yemab from the tzir, it's a Yafusa and dag also. It's not only Yafusa and the tzir. That the tzir is also a ribi on the tzir that it's also. It's a ribi on the dag itself, and the dag itself is also as dinim from both and dinim from tzir. Because if this would be the algemein in the shurim, it's a 100%, gerecht. There's a very lebed.
Like it's babbling Yushalmi.
Yeah, about that. Very similar, yeah.
No, but according to the Rambam, there's no machlokes about it.
Right, the Rambam is saying that this is barrier, goes to regular demon. We're only talking about the tzir. Only talking about the tzir.
Why do you have to make machlokes about it?
And this stuff's referring to Rash. The Rash will end, no? That also has to do whether you guys the vav or not.
Oh, okay.
That's it, vav. He gets into it over here. Because if you guys vav, then it's one thing.
Yeah.
It's one thing altogether. So the whole thing is talking about the tzir. And the Rambam, you have to be guys vav. But you see, we have it over here. Took the vav out. You take the vav out. They're not connected. They're disconnected. The first sentence with the next sentence. And he goes on to say, "V'tana kama saba the yesh." What?
Then you show what's Chiddush Mishnah.
Huh?
Then you show Stam Tzahak Doma then.
This guy Domas. It's Tvei Dinim. It's 300 dinim. What?
What's the first line?
The first line is talking about barrier. Stop.
What's the halacha?
What's the chiddush?
What's the Chiddush? No halacha.
What's the
Wait a minute. The Chiddush is that even though we have dinim from
It
tzir,
doesn't do anything.
and I,
Doesn't halacha.
yeah, so, okay.
What's the chiddush?
So they learn like this. Learn like when there's a lot of time, Chesurim mechser v'achikiton. What does it mean Chesurim mechser v'achikiton? Was it Tanaim didn't know how to write? It says Chesurim mechser v'achikiton. Why did? Yeah. Why did they leave out?
Remember better.
That's why they left out.
Yeah, because it's easy to remember less.
They left out. The Rishonim say they left out like this because Tosha B'Peh is also the question. You're not right. Tosha B'Peh. But then, because they were afraid they're going to forget, so Hitiru. They were matter because they're going to forget. So they were matter. They were only matter as much as they needed to remember. So Chesurim Mechser, the Mishnah is only like a Resho Tevis. It's only like prompts. It prompts you to understand what you have to know the halachas by heart, not Tosha B'Ksav. So Me'el Shtei Zachsaf Mo M'Shtei Chesurim Mechser Achitoni. So this is also Chesurim Mechser Achitoni. The more tells us how to learn Pshat. Look to the weiter. V'tana Kama Sabadim Yesh Boy Mishkul Asar Zuz. What's the Shah Zuz? What's the Pshat Asar Zuz? Asar Zuz is 960. Where does this come from? Shu Chelik Echad Mitesha Meiz V'Shishim. That's the 960. Dag Tomei, Kloime, Mina Dag Tomei, from a Dag Tomei, Oz Vada Yitzili Osek, Mashkonsa Rabbeinu, the Pirish HaMishnah. The Rambam himself, in the Pirish HaMishnah, is different than over here, the Rambam over here. Abba, B'Bachas B'Zeh, Mutu, B'Tameh, Shal Tana Kameh. Forgot B'Kol Shari Surim B'Shishim, even though everything else is B'Shishim, why here is 960? She'ani Tzir Shu Charef. This is very, very potent, it's very sharp. Because B'Shurei Chachamim Shurei Echad 960. Mipnei Shetamei Nirgash. You have the time. It's more than Shishim. B'Budaime B'Loi B'Ino and Kula Hai. It can't be a Machlokes and Metzias. 960, 200, 16. Machlokes and Metzias. How? No, but the time is. Their time is also until 960. This time is also until the 200. Not really 200, it's 192. This is about the Nur. Yosi Mekel Tvei, V'oime Echad Mishish Osaboy. Yosi Mechad. V'posik Rabbeinu Kitzorem Tzoyis, the Rambam takes the middle road, and he says also to Masayim, or 192. Laisha Daite. V'arav Rabbeinu Shimshon, this is the Rash. V'pirish HaMishnah Shom, Ein Yisovikein. He's B'chuk on the Rambam. The big machlokes, the Rambam and the Rash, Hadlam Shari in the Mishnah. Mesnis Nairi, Binyan, Bittul Hadag, Atzmi, Shemarav. We talk about the dag itself. We're not talking here about the tzir in the first sentence. Umadam, Masish Shikov Shoy, Ocha the Milsa, Noka. Rabbi said Shom B'Yishami, so that's how it goes. In the Dvorov, Shtei Chalukas, okay, so do different things. About Kaponim, those minor, this Chatas, what is dag? Is dag like tzir? And if the dag is like the tzir, then it's one Mishnah. If the dag is not like tzir, the dag is Mishnah Yatzah, so Ribi HaPosik is going on the tzir, so Kuptuchais, the Yal Shum, then the Reis. It's Nishka the Rabban Dik Shum, it's all Yafus from the Teres Kayan. I get Shabbos.